Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show this evening. Tonight's guest, we have a return guest, Brother Hakeem. He came on a few weeks ago, and we're going to bring him back because we had some very interesting conversation that we had the last time he was on the show. We want to continue this and get some more information out to brother. So we want to bring on Brother Hakeem. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Hakeem.
Welcome back to the show. Yes, sir.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Okay, the last time you was on the show, we had some good dialogue. Huh? We had some good dialogue, and we got people that want to continue listening to what we was talking about the last time we was on.
Okay.
And we was talking about your coming home from incarceration, your success that you're doing now, the things that you're doing now as part of being reunited back to society.
Okay.
So let's continue. Now
Okay.
now you going to school now,
Yes, I am.
okay? And your major is what?
Sociology,
Sociology, and you are going to get your
bachelor,
bachelor's degree now.
San
Okay.
Francisco State.
San Francisco State.
There
Okay.
you go, Gators.
Okay.
Gotta give 'em a plug.
Okay. Okay. So you are graduating soon.
Oh no! I had just graduated. I just graduated from City College.
You graduated from City College.
Yes,
And you're in state now.
I'm in state now.
Okay, going for your bachelor's.
Now I'm going for my
Okay,
bachelor.
let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. The education is important because education is knowledge, and knowledge is power, right? We understand that. You know, as Malcolm X said, self-knowledge is enough self-empowerment,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay, so along the plan that I had when I got out was to go back to school so I could see how I could reach back and help this population.
Right. Okay.
Because we are disenfranchised on so many different levels, being
Yeah, we are.
African American.
Yeah, we
right?
are.
Now, once we go to prison, we're more disenfranchised because you push back even further on the ladder, right? And it is my belief that the system itself, unintentionally, it's not intentional, it's unintentionally, encumbers people of color. When you have when they take on the philosophy of punishment rather than rehabilitation.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, now the thing about rehabilitation is it is a personal choice. That the people have to have the space to make that choice.
Right.
That's the problem I see with the system now. They don't give them really that space to actually make that conscious choice,
Okay. Okay.
right? Those plans have to happen before you get out, especially if you've been gone for a long period of time. If you've been gone 15, 20 years, you don't have a social perspective about what's going on out here,
Right.
right? Only thing that you have are memories and what the media gives you, right? And those things, memories are nostalgic. Media is what the dominant culture wants it to be.
Right.
It's not the reality.
That's a fact.
So when it's like this, excuse me, when it's like this, we have to establish, the people who have been there have to call out and establish something that's going to benefit that population. That's what I'm going to sociology to do, to study this population, right? And myself included, and find the best ways to construct programs that will close the gap in that alienation. Because when we were locked up, we were alienated.
Sure. Sure we were.
You get to see your people once a week,
Right.
twice a week, maybe talk to them on the phone but you're out. That alienation, that's the enemy right there. That alienation.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Because now you don't have that perspective. So we have to somehow get rid of that alienation.
Mm-hmm.
Today, as I was watching The View,
Okay.
watching the women talk,
Okay.
and one of the ladies mentioned, because she was a former DA, she's talking about putting bad people in prison, right? That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand the language.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like saying that an undocumented is illegal.
Right.
Those are two different things. Good people do bad things,
Sure.
right? So everybody that's locked up isn't a bad person,
Right.
right? The system doesn't have a separator, a mechanism that separates out the good from the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just lumped in,
Mm-hmm.
right? I grant you, in my time in incarceration, 31 and a half years, I have met some people who I would consider bad. That somehow their social perspectives, their moral compass is really twisted. But the overall majority of the people were just people
It's people.
who did bad things.
Right.
And when I say people because just like I know I can only give the male perspective, right? But I imagine that there's female, because coming out, I was in the mentoring program, and I mentored a couple of females.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't bad people. They went to prison.
Right.
They did a long time in prison.
Right. Just did bad things.
Just right. Involved in bad things. Right? And so those stigmas, and that has to be changed. That language has to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, officers, people, law enforcement always say, we are locking up the bad people. Right? And not understanding you're making a person who made a bad choice a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating his next crime.
Right. Now, what do you say to a person going into the system, like the bad person, get the person that does bad things, and he go into prison, and he finds something different to do, opposed to doing bad things while he's in prison?
Well,
You think that person's gonna come back out and turn their life around and live a upstanding life and be a better person all the way through?
okay. Can you imagine doors?
Mm-hmm.
You have a line of doors, right? And they're locked. Right? If they're all locked, you can't get out.
Right.
Right? Now, let's say there's 5 doors. And out of the 5 doors, one of them is unlocked. Right? That's the only exit that you can make. Even though those other 4 doors exist, you can't get out.
Right. They're all locked.
They all locked. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to show you something else. Right? Now watch this. Let's say there's only one door that's locked.
Mm-hmm.
But I perceive that all of them are locked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even try to get out.
Mm.
That's the big problem. I recall one time, because we used to have yard unlocks.
Mm-hmm.
The building would be locked so it can be secured. This is the norm. This is what we think, right? So when I walk up to the door, I want to get in. I have to go to, do some things, and I'm kind of in a rush. I'm looking at the time. I'm waiting for the unlock, right? And everybody else is waiting for the unlock, and I'm saying, oh, I hope the unlock comes soon. And here comes somebody. Well, just walk up and walk right in the door. Opens the door and just walk right in. That example
Yeah.
allowed us to walk in.
Yeah.
Right? You're an example.
Yeah.
I'm an example. All these brothers, these new brothers, and when I say brothers, I ain't talking about just African Americans.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. We quit separating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm saying all these people who have come from this environment need to see those examples so that everybody else will know how to walk through them.
That make that individual, he's programmed to do certain things at certain times.
Right.
So he gets stuck in that program. And until that program changes or something is given to him to change that program, he'll remain the same.
Right. That's the analogy of them doors.
Right.
Because them doors are going to remain the same when you visualize them, right? I recall after President Barack Obama, and I still call him president,
Sure.
right, won the election, I heard someone say that, what are you going to do for me? And I looked at him in the discussion, because he had a discussion with other brothers. But no, he ain't going to do nothing for me. And that negativity came up.
Sure.
And so I had to tell him, you know. I said, he already did it. He showed you it could be done.
Sure, that's right.
That's all he had to do is show you it could be done.
That's right.
Now it's up to you to go do it.
Exactly.
Right. He kind of huffed a little bit, but that sounded the whole conversation.
That's a good way to put it. See, people don't think, I didn't think that a black president would ever exist. You know, that was law. They didn't think that.
Huge.
But see, I used again in this country. Okay, you can come to this country and you get everything you want out of this country, and then majority of the time it's free. Okay, but you have to go for it. You have to get it. Education, all you got to do is educate yourself. You can take the education as you're doing. You're being educated. You're educating yourself. You're going to school and getting the stuff that's in a book that a lot of people ain't gonna never get because they ain't gonna open it.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna read it.
Different perspectives.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's something that you're doing, and you're gonna do things that a lot of people never do.
Yeah. Thank you. Right now, I'm 67 years old. The other purpose of my being in college is to let these guys who are coming out in prison in their 40s and 50s, telling them that you can do it.
You can do it.
Right? Yeah. No brag, but I just found out my tentative grades for this semester. 3 courses, 12 units, 3 A's.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
And it didn't have anything to do with me being so sharp. It had to do with me applying myself.
There you go.
It had to do with me doing the reading before I went to class, right? Then brushing up after class, finding a space after class and doing some more reading. Making sure I'm staying up on what the assignments are, what the content is, right? And putting other things aside at that time. Just like I make time for my prayer. Make it structured. Study and school time structured. Prioritizing my life.
That's right. You're applying.
Right. And that's what rehabilitation is.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Because we always talk about we want to be free. I want to do what I want to do. You know, the idea and that thought of trying to break free is what put you in prison. Yeah. Isn't that an ironic twist?
Sure it is.
The fact that, okay, I don't have this and I want to be free to do this, so I'm going to go do this so I can get this.
Yeah.
And what it is, that's a prison within itself, because that prison is that mentality.
Sure it is.
And I believe I said it last time. My major crusade, if you will, would be to erase the culture of criminality that we've developed in our neighborhoods. Our youth should look for more than basketball scholarships, hip-hop records, and dope dealing.
That's right. That's right.
Our youth should be looking to how to build structures, build communities, right, and enhance.
That's right. That's right. Now, we want to let the audience know, because a lot of people are seeing this for the first time. We want to let them know that you are formerly incarcerated,
Yes.
returned citizen.
Yes.
You did 31 years in prison.
31 and a half. Don't
half.
forget that half.
Forget the half.
Because
Forget
they
that.
took that half, man.
That's right. 31 and a half years in prison,
Right.
you know, for crime, and you serve your time. You serve your time. You paid your debt back to society. You was found suitable for parole. You come home from prison. Okay, you're home, and you've become a success, so to speak, because you're doing everything that's supposed to be done. When giving you the paper to sign, you sign the paper. You come home. You're doing everything that was instructed for you to do. Now you took it a little farther. They didn't tell you to go to school.
No.
They didn't tell you nothing about school. They told you to get a job and do whatever. But you took it a step further. You went to school. You got 1 degree. And you got 2 degrees.
2 degrees already.
Since you've been home.
Yeah.
You got 2 degrees since you've been home, and you're going for your 3rd.
Yes.
So the reason why I'm saying this is that I'm saying this, and I'm giving this to our audience, okay? Because a lot of people say that when a person go into the system to prison, CDC, well they say CDCR now, that you come home and you go back to the same thing and you can continue the criminality, the criminal lifestyle, okay? Majority of lifers that go into the system, they come home and they change. I think it's about less than 1%.
Yeah.
They go back
Okay.
for mediocre crimes.
Right.
But you come home and you did the complete change, metamorphosis, I speak, and you were taking a step further. You getting your education, you getting something that they can't take from you once you got it. It's on paper, they can't take it from you.
Right.
They can burn it up, but they can't take it from you. It's
Right.
still there, right? So we want the audience to know that this brother here did 31 and a half years in CDCR. He did his time, he came home, he got married, had a beautiful wife, you know, he lived an American dream. That's what you're living. Okay?
No.
Okay, come on.
Okay. I'm a staunch believer in focusing on reality.
Okay,
Reality.
okay,
There's a problem I have with the American dream.
okay,
It's a dream. We live an American reality,
okay,
which once you wake up, that's what you're gonna be in.
okay,
I'm living the African American reality,
okay,
not the dream,
okay.
right? And the difference is that it should be every African American's reality.
Sure, you're right.
Success should be our reality.
Sure, you're right. I agree.
We ain't focusing on no dreams.
I agree.
I ain't you know, for too long we done had dreams,
Right.
right? And it didn't profit us,
Right.
right? A very admirable man, Dr. Martin Luther King, had a dream, right? And under that dream, or following that dream, a lot of social reform happened. But what they do through the years, they take all them social reforms away.
Sure.
So that dream, right? The society woke up from it, right? Under that dream, equal opportunity and education happened. But then came the reality of gentrification and schools, privileged schools and non-privileged schools, and we end up in the non-privileged schools. So even though you get an education, it's inferior. You know, equal housing. And then they redlined to where the districts, if you look at right now, the America is more polarized than ever.
Yes.
In neighborhoods.
Yes.
Right?
So that dream becomes just what it is, a dream.
No, it becomes the reality. It fades into the reality.
Okay.
Right? And we have to fight the realities.
Okay.
Right? And we go on down the line. Because justice, one of the things he was talking about was justice for everyone. yet we see that although minorities commit the lowest percentage of crimes overall, they get the biggest time overall.
And that's a fact.
It's a fact.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. Right? And so the things are systematic. And one of the things that you learn while you're in school was how the system works. Because if I don't have an idea of how the system works, I can holler about it all day long till the cats come home. I can't tell you what's wrong with it. And the people in the system who control it have a vested interest of keeping it the same. Systems love the status quo. They love to maintain themselves.
That's right. That's right. That's a fact.
And if you're outside of the system and the system is maintaining itself, you're in trouble.
That's right. That's a fact.
So you have to find a mechanism
Yes.
to crack that door
Yes.
and become a part of that system.
Yes. Yes. Now, being home. You've been home. How long you been home?
5 years now.
You've been home 5 years.
Yeah, I got out in 2012.
Okay, you got 2 degrees, going your third. Married. Living pretty good. Got a vehicle. And you're doing pretty much what you want to do, to the extent.
Yes.
Okay, you ain't nobody tell you ain't no yard today. You can't go to the canteen.
Well, I'm off parole.
Yeah, well, I'm not to have nobody dictate your
Right, true.
life to you. You can go to the canteen every day you want to.
True.
Yeah, that's what I say. Canteen
Right.
every day. Go to Safeway, wherever, every day if you want to. So you living pretty much comfortably as you want to. And what is your goal with your degrees?
Okay, my goal is with my degrees is to inform, to talk to my folks, the disenfranchised, to tell them about the system.
Okay.
Because you have a lot of books about it, and I've read a lot while I've been studying about the system, but they're not for the layperson, right? They're not. When you tell the average person about certain aspects, right? Why the legal system is what it is, the court system, what happens with that system. When you get down to, we have a 2-tier system. The fact of one is the letter of the law, which what the law is, and the other is the intent of the law. And that what the courts do is flip-flop, right? How they flip-flop to further disenfranchise you, right? Because you know when we were in, we were talking about what the law said, because the law says that we supposed to get out, right?
Exactly.
That was the letter of the law. It was written, it's written in stone. But they said no. The intent was the law was that once you were rehabilitated,
Right.
but you didn't have no rehabilitation programs. No. I mean, wait, okay, this is double talk.
Yeah, as they went along, they started changing things. the way they
Right,
want.
right, and it starts changing. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why it took so long for those changes to come and develop is because people were unaware of how that worked.
That's right.
They were unaware of how that operated.
That's right.
Right, and we live in systems, social systems, right, cultural systems. All of those are systems, right? And if we don't know how those systems operate, we like in the game not knowing none of the rules.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And anybody, I don't care if it's basketball, football, or baseball, the first thing you learn before you become a player and get on the field is what?
Got to learn the rules.
You got to know what the
Learn the
rules
rules. If you don't
are.
know the rules, it's not going to work out right.
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 And that's what happens, right? So I'm using my time now because this is my way of giving back,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because if if it's just one person, one individual that hear me and that is inspired to go another direction and build something, then good.
Work is done. Well, I tell you from this interview, the last interview, I've had several people speak on your interview, and from this interview, they're going to continue, and you'll be able to change the way somebody thinks, because what you're saying is real. People need to be educated into things that they don't know. If you don't know something, well, you may remain ignorant. Once you become educated, well, you're all right. You can move on. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked you, what are you going to do with the degrees? You're going to educate the people.
And within that education of the people, it's moving to develop systems, right? And develop programs that assist the people.
Sure.
Showing the people that you have to make your own program.
There you go. There you go.
You have to make and construct your own program that's conducive to you.
Sure it is.
Don't let somebody else tell you what's conducive for you.
Exactly.
Because you got problems when you looking for somebody else to do what's conducive for you.
Right.
One of the things, we have a political system, right? One of the things that amazed me is that you have poor people electing rich people to look out for their interests. Makes no sense at all, because rich people look out for their interests.
That's right.
They ain't gonna look out for their interests for the poor.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Right?
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Simple.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Right? Right? You had many people who felt injured by the social system, downtrodden by the social system, vote for a billionaire who is the social system.
Yeah. Our people got to be educated now.
That's where education comes in.
Yes.
That's where it comes in.
They have
And understand what government is.
Yes.
Government is not there to fix my life. That's the one thing that I agree with the Republicans on. I agree with them on that point, because government is not supposed to fix my life.
That's right.
Government is supposed to is there to make sure that I have the things to put together for my life.
That's right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
That's right.
Right? And once we look at it that way, we see how government fails us because they don't put those things. They have laws on the books that they're not enforcing. Right? They have perspectives that they espouse that they don't do.
Well, see, that's why the person that's uneducated looks at it in a way that I'm waiting for them to do something that they're not going to do.
Right.
That's just like cooking a meal. I'm cooking a meal for you, but I'm gonna eat the meal. You're not gonna ever taste it.
Right.
You see, so we have to.
It's a cooking show, huh?
Exactly.
Government is a cooking show. But they cook it and you see it on the television and it's out there and it looks good.
And
but
you never tasted it.
And you don't get to taste it. That's it.
So you have to learn, look at how they're cooking it.
And learn how to cook your
Learn
own.
how to cook your own. And you can
That's
eat
it.
it. You know,
That's it.
your own meal.
That's
You
it.
see, so yeah, educate the people so the people can know, oh, really? That's what's in the book. No, yeah, because you ain't never opened the book and read the book.
Right.
You got to open the book. Don't just the book look good. But if it look good, if you don't open it, it's just always going to look good. You got to read the book and find out what's happening in the book. You're doing it. You're reading all the books.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you're reading all the books. So inshallah, it's going to work out the way that it should.
Inshallah. It will always work out.
So your work is valuable. It's valuable. What you're saying to people, they are listening to what you're saying. They're taking it in. And when you get that paper and you can walk out and you can sit out and teach the people, you know, they're going to be more than willing to listen.
Inshallah.
I mean, more than willing to listen because you come from the pits of hell back to society. You know, I use that cesspool and hell and back to society. That's what you did. You did the whole three things, and you back. So this show, you know, is a show that we provide for, you know, returned citizens coming home as yourself. You know, you've done a great job, and you continue to do a great job, and we commend you for that.
Thank you.
We commend you for that. We want to be able to bring you on the show and allow you to speak of the things that's being done in our communities at a later date, because you're going to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be part of the community to educate our people, and you'll be able to come back on the show and tell them of the changes that you see in our communities.
Alhamdulillah.
Because inshallah, it's needed.
And inshallah, also I have information for them.
Okay.
Because right now, one of the biggest allies that we have in sources is media, right? You have blogs, you have people who have their own blogs, and some people they have things to say, right? And that we need to see them so we know and understand. You know, we have to know and understand who our allies are.
Exactly.
Right? Who are going to assist us in turning our situation around. I'm not going to say our lives, right? Because you have a lot of people out there that don't have nothing, right? That's not doing bad things, right? So their situation needs to be turned around, not their life.
Exactly.
Their moral compass is still steady. You're solid as a rock, right? It's just everything around will crumble.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
So we need to have that type of information, how we can make coalitions, how we can unite and get other allies for the same cause and start affecting the social political climate that we live in.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Very good.
Because I did see today that the homeless has finally come on the radar.
Yeah. They are on the radar.
Yeah. You know,
Yes.
Before it's like seasonal thing. During Thanksgiving and Christmas, you think of the homeless, and then other times, no.
Yeah. No.
But we have to understand there are not a million or 1,000. There are millions of people who are living in our country who are homeless.
That's homeless. That's a fact. Now,
it is not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. We're living in one of the richest countries in the world.
But rich for who?
Exactly.
That's the point.
There we go.
Now you're talking about another whole ball game here, because the haves, the 1%, right? They take 99% of the resources.
Exactly.
Right? And just following up on what you're saying, we had a recent, not so long ago, illustration of how that works. Right? You had the hurricane, the devastation to Texas. Then they had fundraisers, and people got together so people could donate to raise funds for Texas. Right? I'm not going to be popular for this one. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, let it out.
Let it out?
Let it out.
Okay. I wouldn't send Texas nothing. I looked it up. I personally looked it up. Texas has 45 billionaires. Most of them who made their money off of natural resources. Nobody has called them to account on that. Why don't y'all fix that?
Oh, really?
Right.
45 billion?
Billionaires, not millionaires. 45 billionaires. Right? $45 million. All of them give $1 million apiece.
Yeah.
And understand something. When you have that type of money, what it is per hour, you're making $100,000. So you're gonna make that back in no time.
Sure.
That's change.
You never miss it.
Right.
You never miss it.
Right. But what did they do? They upped the price of gas because to pay for one of the platforms that was destroyed. Wait a minute, wasn't I paying high price for gas already? Wasn't you making a big profit already? That profit should have been the insurance for anything going wrong.
Sure should have. Sure should have. Yeah, sure should have.
And because you're rich, because you made your money off of me, right? That's like me putting money in the bank. So anything go wrong, you're supposed to come to my aid.
That's right. That's right.
That's simple. That's simple economics, man.
Yeah, that's
baby.
right. That's a fact. Ooh.
Right.
Mm.
And not one of the major TV networks, not one of the major economic minds, not one of the senators or congressmen brought up that point.
You're educating them out.
Mm-hmm.
You're educating them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give them something that they need to know.
But I'll tell you what senators and congressmen did talk about. They talked about the devastation in Haiti. And they said how the Haitian people, how Haiti owes so much money.
Oh, really?
Right. And why that's one of the reasons why they can't get the aid that they need. Wait a minute, how does Haiti owe that much money when you've been sucking resources and labor out of Haiti for the last 50 years?
Right. Longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, longer than that.
Yeah, all this time.
Yes.
And that you've been reaping the benefits.
Yes.
And now that they need it, they're going to call you to account on a debt that they know they wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. Come on, stop it.
Shouldn't even been there.
Stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop it.
Well, like we say, we have to educate the people because, like I say, if you don't give them something that they need, they'll be without.
Right. And you have to give it to them palatable. That's the thing.
Right.
It got to be where they can take it in, they can eat it, absorb it, and take it in and know it for knowledge.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You know, it's not good enough that I know it. You know, everybody else got to know it for certain knowledge.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And then when somebody come and give us that sideways stuff, we can see through it. Say no. We can say no.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Wow. My brother, I tell you, yeah, you've got stuff to give out. You got information to give out, and we glad to have you.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. Welcome home.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be here.
And we're glad to have you home. We
It's
need
good
you.
to be here.
You know, we got a lot of people coming home from incarceration,
Right.
in large numbers, and we need them
Right.
because they're coming back with information that hasn't been
Right.
given. So
Not just information, they're coming back with character and examples.
exactly,
Right?
that's what they're coming back with.
Because the thing about it is, a college professor can't tell a youngster how to not do crime.
I know.
I can tell him.
Exactly.
Because I've been there.
Been there.
Done that, and I've seen what the end
You've been
of
in the
it.
trenches. You know, you've been there. You've been on the same side they've been on.
Right.
You've done what they've done 4 or 5 times over. So you've been there. You know, you was in the prison in time where it was rocking and rolling, not like it's going on now.
No.
It was really rocking and rolling. So
Yeah.
you've been there. You know, so they'll be more susceptible to listen to what you're saying. And that's why you have to be part of this. You know, so we want to thank you for coming on the show this evening.
Yeah.
We want to thank you. We want to bring you back later on. Matter of fact, we want to bring you in the Mrs. Zone.
Okay.
We want to bring
That'd
you in
be
the Mrs.
wonderful.
Zone. Yeah,
That'd
bring
be
you in the Mrs.
wonderful.
Zone. That'll be our next segment with you. Bring the Mrs. Zone because the Mrs. has something to say too.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
So she has an open invitation next time to come on the show. Bring the Missus.
Okay, we're gonna arrange that.
Yes,
We're gonna do
yes,
that.
yes,
And that's
yes.
lovely.
So we want to thank you, my brother, for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
You know, and we're gonna continue looking at you because you're shining.
All right. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we want to thank the Brother Hakeem for coming on the show. We appreciate his presence today. We want to show this on the YouTube channel. You can look at this on YouTube channel. It'll be on channel 29 on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. And check out the show. Check out the show and let us know what you think about the show. Tell us what we can improve. If we're doing okay, whatever we need to do. We want to keep this going because we have a show for returned citizens. This show belongs to the returned citizens coming home. We want to give an update on what we're doing now, what's the community can show and tell us on our conduct, what we're doing. Give us some feedback. If it's good, it's bad, indifference. Let us know. So we thank you for watching the show, and we'll see you next Saturday at 7 o'clock on channel 29. We have a live show on channel 76 that comes on every other Thursday. We're talking to Chicago, Illinois right now, the prison system. In Chicago, they haven't had a budget in 3 years. They just signed a budget 2 weeks ago. So we want to see about the program that they took from 3 years ago, and we want to see whether they're going to put the money back into the prison system to regenerate the programs that they took out. So we want to talk about that. We want to make sure that the people in Chicago are looking and seeing what they're doing in the Department of Corrections in Illinois. So thank you for watching the show tonight, and tune in. Thank you, and have a good night.
Do you have a blog?